What advice can you give writers where they can find inspiration? Because inspiration, finding that well of inspiration when the muse doesn't show up, all that kind of stuff. What's your advice on that?
I think those are actually two different questions.
Okay.
One question is where do you find your inspiration, and the other question is what do you do when your muse doesn't show up?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The truth is, if you wrote only when you were inspired, none of us would get anywhere.
Right.
There would be no movies would get made. This is a job. So, Dave and I, we work banker's hours. We take our kids to school. We show up. We work from 8 to 4:30. And then we pick our kids up and we have dinner with our families.
When he says 8 to 4:30, he means 10 to
12.
Yeah, something like that.
I could read between the lines, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
So you got to show up every day, whether you're inspired or not. I think that anyone who's inclined to do this probably has their own access to inspiration, whether it's music or other movies or wherever you find your creative muse, everything's on the table and everything's legitimate. I think that the bigger, more important question is, what do you do when the muse doesn't show up? And the answer is you go to work.
You go to work, and you have to be inspired by the prospect of success. Because if you don't believe that you're going to be successful, why do it? It's going to be really hard to do it. I think every screenwriter has to really believe that, I can be successful and I can do this. And by the way, I think screenwriters, we're a pretty average group of people. I don't think we're a group of geniuses. Mm-hmm. I've met a lot of writers in my life. They're they share certain qualities, but they work hard at it. And, if you work hard at it, I think you can probably do it, at least learn to do it at a level that if you're dedicated enough and you have some modicum of talent, you can do it successfully as a career. But if you don't think about the result, if you don't get inspired by like what could happen, I think it's going to be hard to finish your work for the day.
The other thing I would say is, you should be excited not just by the prospect of your own success in your career, but you should be inspired by what the particular project you're working on can be. Because there are going to be days that are going to be very difficult. You're going to be dragging. You're going to be facing a problem. You're not sure how to resolve it. And if you're not excited about the overarching idea that you're working on and about the prospect of delivering the screenplay of that idea and seeing that movie on screen, even if it's on your phone, it's going to be hard to get through the difficult days. It's a little bit like marriage. Some days are better than others.
Touché, sir.
It's great every day.
Yes, mine too. I don't know what you're talking about, David.
Mine too.
Honey, if you're listening.
Well, it's very similar to what Stephen Pressfield said, which is this, like, you just show up every day and you just let the muse know that I'm going to be at this desk every day between 8:30 and 4:30.
That's right.
If you decide to show up, this is where I'll be. But every day I'm going to show up, and that's the only way. You just got to keep cranking.